Good morning. This is Pastor Rachel coming at you from Northfield United Methodist Church, and it's at our baptismal font. During this season of Lent, we had invited our congregation to consider decisions they need to make and to offer that to God during this 40-day preparation period for Easter. And we put them all in this basket, filled them on purple sticky notes. So many of you have decisions you have put in there for your pastors to pray over. Never in a million years did we think that one of the decisions we would have to make is whether or not to hold public events at our building during this season. So we're all in this together and we'll get it figured out. But during this season of Lent and considering prayerfully what decisions we have to make, know that we are continuing to pray for you whether we are able to gather publicly or not. While we, like so many congregations, have decided to put a pause on our public gatherings, like worship and Super Wednesday in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is an agreement with local and state health authority guidelines, which continue to evolve and which we are watching very, very closely. This morning, we celebrate a baptism for the Mosel family, and we invite you to join in remotely, answering the congregational questions in the affirmative when we get there. We'll post videos with announcements, words of encouragement and devotion, and others during our little sojourn here in the technological wilderness. Stay connected to each other and be aware of neighbors and their needs. We are all in this together, and we will figure out what ministry we are called to do in each moment as it comes. In all things during this time, we invite you to consider to seek joy. J is for Jesus. Pray often, and then do it again. Rinse and repeat tomorrow. O is for others. Anxiety makes hoarders of us all. Let's make sure the CAC food shelf has everything it needs to provide for friends and neighbors who are hit economically by all of this. And if you are in that boat yourself, don't hesitate to reach out to the pastors here. And Y is for you. Rest, Sabbath, stay off social media if it isn't helpful. Wash your hands saying the Lord's Prayer while you do so to get your full 20 seconds. We will get to the other side of this, and we will do so with great joy. So stay tuned for shifts and changes. Conditions have already changed rapidly, and it's quite possible they could moving forward too. Pastors, staff, and leadership will be in close contact with each other in coming days to assess and adjust. We will also be praying for you, our community, our first responders, and those ill. We invite you to do the same. Now, to our baptism. Baptism in our tradition is a gift from God. It is not something we earn. It is about grace. It celebrates that God is reaching out to us in grace before we have anything to say about it, which is one reason why in our tradition we do baptize infants, because we honor that God's grace reaches out to us whether we understand it or not. And what adult in this room today or any other day would say they completely understand the ins and outs of God's grace? So today we welcome Carly, Walker, and Austin to the Big God Church family. So I'm going to ask the family and sponsors to please stand. And you may gather in by the font here. All right, so these questions are for you. Do you affirm your own do you affirm your own call to follow Christ into the hurting and bleak places of the world through pain and joy, ending in the cross and resurrection? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your commitment to putting Christ at the center of your household and how you order your affairs as a family? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your commitment to making your home a haven for the hurt so that all who enter might know the peace of Christ? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your commitment to teaching Carly, Walker, and Austin the ways of Christ, to heal the wounded, to bind up the brokenhearted, to love without limits, and to live justly in a spirit of joy and abundance? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your commitment to unconditionally accept and love Carly, Walker, and Austin just as Christ unconditionally loves and accepts you, with all of your faults, inconsistencies, doubts, gifts, blessings, and hopes? If so, say, we do. All right, congregation, this is for you, and our parish nurse and our associate pastor and kids will answer on behalf here, but for those of you watching at home, we invite you to respond in the affirmative as well. Do you affirm your own call to follow Christ in all that you say and do? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your own call to put the example and intentions of Christ in the center of how we order our households and the life of this congregation? If so, say, we do. Do you affirm your commitment to ensuring that any broken heart might come here and find peace, healing, and a safe haven in our midst? If so, say, we do.